Good morning, everybody. This is Kristy Bach with local Hogwash. I almost said News News. Michelle is she's not here today, but we have a special guest for you that I am so excited. We are here live at the Lenoir County Farmers Market.
Yes.
Please come on down. We have quite a few vendors. We have some of their stuff behind us that you can see. And I have special guests with you today, Felicia Solomon.
Hi, Kristy.
Hello.
Hey.
So what are you up to today since I got you out of bed randomly?
Yeah, well, you're worth it. Today, this afternoon at 4, there's going to be a prayer for the students and the children as they prepare to go back to school. So I'm going to go attend that. That's going to be held on, it's at the old Lewis School.
Okay.
So going to attend that. And then at 5 o'clock, the gate is having a worship service where like just different local churches, their choirs, their praise teams are going to be at the park. So a real nice, community event. So like I said, so that'll be some really good fellowship. So that's my afternoon. After I finish hanging out with you, I'm going to go take part of some self-care and go get my feet done.
Nice.
Yeah, probably go get an icy after we get out of this heat.
I was thinking that I'm going to need definitely something with a lot of ice in it.
Yeah.
It is a bazillion degrees out here. There is a lovely breeze, but it's intermittent, so it's not real constant. And I, however, don't have as many plans as you do today.
So what are you planning to do?
I'm going to go kiss my grandbaby. That's all I got.
Okay, well, you can get some of that good sweet sugar.
She was in the bed when I left this morning. She alternates between loving and hating me now because her mom will leave her with me. And I'm the only person who's watched her without her mom being there. So now she associates her mom leaving with grandma.
Okay, so if mom leaves, you better be in place to step up and take. I get it.
So it's hilarious because she loves me. I'm one of her favorite people. She loves to call me on the phone. She's only 9 months old. And we have a really good time. But now that her mom will go to the store or something, she doesn't love it.
Right. Well, but she gets okay when you step up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
good.
do. Look, I'm the grandma that they write the memes about. If you want something, I'm going to give it to you. If you want grilled cheese and tomato soup, I'll make it. If you want me to cut grilled cheese into shapes, I'll do that too.
Right. So you're the 21st century grandmother, right?
Right, but I was never like that as a parent.
Well, that's what most parents say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents, especially my mom, has said it's just something different. And I guess it's because the fullness of the responsibility, doesn't lie on the parent.
Right.
But that's the beautiful part about a village. It
is.
Yeah.
It's nice. Grandchildren were a whole new world for me. They're fun. I think when you're a parent, you're stressed out all the time. I couldn't imagine being a parent today and having to make these choices, these COVID-related choices.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful that you're having a prayer event for these kids because what they're going through right now is crazy. I never had to do. I never had to worry about masks or vaccines or getting people sick because I got sick growing up. We had normal things, flu, that happened, but I can't imagine being 12 years old.
Yeah.
And having to make choices like mask wearing or
and the thing of it is that in consideration of last year, what I'm saying, when those with the stay-at-home orders, just the whole lack of socialization, and you think about us as adults, what I'm saying, how for many of us it was difficult to to cope with the lack of human touch.
Yes.
It's impactful, right?
It truly is. I would have told prior to 2020, actually I'm just going to say prior to working with my crew, my tribe, I was not a hugger. I'm not a physical touch person. My mantra in life is all touch requires consent. So that has since changed in my office because I love them so much. But it's like, even I, who don't necessarily crave that affection, even I felt the impact of not being able to, of being away from my children for months at a time because they couldn't travel. My my son-in-law and my daughter live in Fayetteville. He's a sergeant in the Army in Fort Bragg. So when the base locked down, I didn't see them for months.
Right.
And that's difficult. So we don't want to go back to that.
Yeah. See, I came from a family of huggers.
Yeah.
You know, I came from a family of huggers, and so, you know, being a school principal, you know, I mean,
you were hugged.
And so, oh my God, yeah. And so during the pandemic, you know, like when I would, you know, just kind of like travel out and run across some of my kids, you know, it's like one of those things where it's just innate for your babies to do what? You know, grab and wrap. And so, you know, I didn't deny it, but I just real prayerful. You know, one of the things that we're getting ready to do on next Wednesday, our Student Services Department with Lenoir County Public Schools, we're bringing in our Student Services Departments, our counselors, our social workers, our school nurses, and then any individuals partnering with East Point to do like a mental health one-on-one for children. Right. You know, because the worst thing that we can do is like negate the impact. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying, that children are facing, you know, with this it's pandemic.
There's so many things and factors that we don't think of. And I am usually a middle of the road person on just about every issue. I don't have extreme opinions. I try not to have extreme opinions. So I understand wanting everyone to wear masks just as much as I understand the anger and I guess fear of being forced to wear one. So I'm not going to debate mask wearing. It is what it is. I support everybody making informed decisions for themselves as long as the information doesn't come from Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think that you do lose at least a portion of your identity when you wear a mask all day. And that was one of the studies that I read for children, was especially young children, when they can't see the mouths of the teacher or even their parents communicating.
Helping with the articulation.
Yeah,
and it's like,
it's very hard for them. So I completely understand.
Yeah.
And I have a 4-year-old granddaughter. Her name is Callie. I miss her very much. She wears a mask, but she sticks her fingers in the side. Yeah. She says, "Because I can breathe, Grandma." So, so I don't know how beneficial her mask is. And I'm only sharing that not to shame my granddaughter in any way, but because I imagine most 4-year-olds are going to do something similar. So the benefit is a little skewed, I think, for small children if they don't wear them correctly.
And the thing of it is this too, is that like I totally, because like I get the fear. I 100% understand that fear of the notion of control. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Of like losing control of your individual lives. When we think about the mask, and especially in schools, so the issue is we ran the risk of having another shutdown. Yes. You know, with the mask, we have a stronger, I think, chance of maintaining, you know what I'm saying, as much, quote, normalcy as possible. Right. You know, like the interaction with children. Like children need to be with their peers. Yes. You know, nothing takes the place of that face-to-face learning.
I agree.
And one thing that we have to consider is that we do have to consider the educators, you know what I'm saying? Like those frontline soldiers. Like in this thing, everyone proved to be heroes in this thing because it was so new. The parents, the teachers, the school administrators. And so we have to also consider that some of our teachers have pre-existing conditions too. Absolutely. And so, we just run a stronger chance of possibly being able to stay in school. I think the worst thing that we could do as a community, though, is to, quote, vilify people for their beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree with that.
I think
whether you're on one side of the panel or the other.
We believe what we believe.
Yes.
But I think that we should not vilify people because they believe the way that they believe. One of the worst things that happens is that when we fail to communicate. One thing about communication is when you get to actually know people, you'll find out that we have more things in common than we do, I guess, differences, there's a common thread. There's certain common threads that just connect all of us,
I am in complete agreement with that. If you're just tuning in, this is Kristy with Local Hogwash. I have Felicia Solomon as my guest. We are at the Lenoir County Farmers Market live on Facebook. I hope you're enjoying our conversation. We're touching upon the masks, to her events this afternoon that you should definitely go to. Do you want to give them a quick recap of where you'll be this afternoon and evening?
Yeah, so there's going to be a prayer held at the old Lewis School. I think it's at 4 o'clock. I'm just going to do a prayer as our children prepare to go back to school. So I'm going to show up there. And then the gate is hosting an event in Pearson Park at 5 o'clock, where a lot of our local churches throughout the city will be gathering together, different praise teams, different choirs, just fellowshipping, worshiping God as a community, as one. So if you can, come out. Make sure you bring some water, bring your lawn chairs, and let's just have a good time.
Definitely bring water. The temperature is high today and the sky is blue. It is a North Carolina summer evening. One of the best parts about doing things like this, and it is hot, and I do have sweat on my face, so just
so do I.
But we're here because the farmers market is such an integral part of Lenoir County. Yes. I know we've talked about it so many times, but just the things you can get. I know Porter's Farm is done for this season, but we have really cool things like the woman at the table next to us. She's the Family Craziness Gifts and Treats. Like them on Facebook. So they have protein bombs, which are really cool. They have dog treats, which are also really cool.
Homemade dog treats.
Homemade dog treats.
I got to take Sasha.
She also has tie-dye bandanas for your dog. They're adorable. There is also local honey from above the Briary over Felicia's shoulder. You can see some of the plants that she has. It's super cool. And then we have Miss Pat's granola. If you haven't tried Holy Granola, you are crazy and you need to come down and do it. It is absolutely fun to be had at the Lenoir County Farmers Market. But you were looking for something specific when you wanted to come here. Some pork skins. So hey, look, pork skins saved me through keto a couple years back.
I'm telling you. But I just looked over to my right, and I definitely have to make sure that I get some of these homemade dog treats. Many of you may be familiar with my Silk Terrier, Sasha. So I'm definitely going to make sure I bring that baby some of these dog treats home.
So come on down to the Lenoir County Farmers Market. You will enjoy it. It is never going to be a wasted venture. So moving on past the mask, because honestly, I'm so sick of talking about it, which is just a shame because it's such a conversation piece. But what is one thing you're looking forward to about the fall?
Cooler weather.
Yes, definitely cooler weather.
Cooler weather, and I guess I don't know, kind of like the hopes of, continuing to see the beauty of this community with the changing of the leaves and things of that nature. Football season is kicking up, and that's always a good time to get together. With people in the city, county.
I'm not a sports fan. I make no bones about it. I went to watch a few of the Wood Ducks games because it's fun. Mm-hmm. But really, I'm there for the beer and the company. I don't know too much about what's going on. They're going to hit a ball. They're going to do some running. It's going to be fun. But I will say, shout out to Brian Hanks. If you do if you go to a wood duck game when Brian Hanks is announcing, it is the absolute best. He makes sure you understand in a funny, like, very over the top way that I just really enjoyed. So check out a Wood Ducks game because it's just worth it, guys. It's inexpensive. If you go on a Thursday, beers are a buck, and you know how we like our beer on Hogwash. So definitely take advantage of that. I look most forward. Let me say that again. Sorry, I trip over my mouth all the time. I look forward the most to dumb things about the fall.
What do you consider dumb?
So I get super excited when I can get a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks.
Okay. That's seasonal. Nothing dumb about it.
And then the clothes you can wear. I'm not a summer person. I don't want to show a lot of anything ever. So you can do layers in fall, and not so many in winter because it's too much. But in the fall, I like my clothes better.
Okay.
But I'm with you on the weather because it's hot.
Yeah.
So what is one thing you would like the community to know about you that they don't already know, because everybody knows her?
Just recently, a couple of weeks ago, I had something come up in my memories, my Facebook memories, and it was very simple, very plain. And it just simply said, I love people.
She does.
I love people. But if anyone doesn't, let's say if you don't know me, it would be that I think one of the most unique people that people have ever met, I took the Myers-Briggs test a couple of years ago, and I was like a 1%er, right? But that I do live a life, and a part of my belief platform is living life as a cause beyond yourself. I believe that we have to see beyond what you actually see. I believe in people. I love this community. Like, I love the people, that's in it. I believe that everybody plays a role, Kristy. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has like a value to add to this community.
I agree with that. I think that is one of the things that I quickly learned about Kinston. If you are willing to step out of yourself, if you're willing to step off of your own path and join in the communal path, there's a spot for you. There are boards to join. There are ways to volunteer. I'm ridiculously looking forward to the upcoming upcoming Christmas parade that the Kinston Downtown Revitalization is going to hold. And they need volunteers for that. So if you're looking for something to do, that's a good option for you. But the way that people just say, okay, I'm here, sign me up. I want to help, sign me up. The volunteerism, I don't know if that's a whole word, but I'm just going to go with it.
In this moment.
So the amount of volunteerism that people portray is unique to Kinston.
Oh, yeah.
It might feel like you're seeing the same people over and over again, but it's because some people prefer to be in the front and some people prefer to be behind the scenes. I'm usually a behind the scenes person, which is hilarious because I have local hogwash, but the amount that people are willing to contribute and give and donate, whether it be their time or their money or their effort or their energy, it is really unique to Kinston.
There's this African proverb, and it's Ubuntu, and it says, I am because we are.
I like that.
And, as an educator here, and because I'm from here, but just serving as a teacher here, everything that I've done that's been like noteworthy is because we did it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely have like a lot of people that are willing to put their hands to the work. It's just that we have to make it known. Like, people want to help. People want to be a part. It's just that we have to be willing to extend the invitations.
Yes.
And to create those spaces and opportunities, and be willing to reach, outside of what is your norm. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
And I tell you, one thing that I've seen over and over again, whether it was the Male Motivational Mondays that I, did at some of the schools that I was at, whether it was getting that playground equipment out at Southeast, whether it was during the time of the floods, like when you sound the alarm, this city, this county has a way of branding community like none other.
Yes.
And I think, you alluded to social media a few moments ago. We have to be very careful that we don't choose to allow that to define
Absolutely.
who we are as a community, that we don't allow algorithms to decide
Right.
to who we are as a community.
You'll alienate yourself,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'll alienate others. It's one thing, so I get caught up in the moment, and I will have an overreaction. And I'm going to give an example of that. One of the meetings that I watched, I completely disagreed with something that happened. And my instinct, even though I'm not that active on social media, was to go on there and say, this was bleep, bleep, bleep and ridiculous. I did not, because I don't do well with the comments back. But the reality of it is that was a visceral reaction for me. And I'm a pretty even-tempered person, so I can probably name off 50 others who have done very similar things in recent times. But your neighbors are going to read that. Your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your uncle, the guy you went to school with, the person you buy milk from, the person you buy eggs from, the person you buy shoes from. They're all going to see it and judge you for it. It's very beneficial to you to just take a step back. Ask yourself, is this something I want my mama to read? My mama wouldn't care. But your mama might. So just go that. So it's just like when somebody would say, do you kiss your mama with that mouth? When you go on social media, would you say that to your mama? That should be my rule of thumb.
Okay. Good point. Good point, Chris. Yeah.
So this is Kristy Bach with Local Hogwash and Felicia Solomon. I just want to take a quick break to remind everybody that Michelle and I are going to Washington, D.C. in October. And we are going as a whole civic-minded kind of trip. We put an open invitation for anybody who wanted to come on Local Hogwash if you were running for any office in the city of Kinston, whether it be one of the commissioner, or one of the council positions, or a mayoral position. Please come on the show, hang out with us. We'll be nice, I promise. But we're doing this, and then we're going to wrap it up. Hopefully everybody will come on. We had Michael Martin on in 2 months ago-ish, and he's running for city council. And if we can get everybody on, we're going to wrap it up in Washington, D.C. and go live, hopefully, from in front of an influential building. My dad said we should try to do it in front of the White House. We'll see. And we'll go from there. But it's an exciting time in Kinston to be civic-minded, and everybody should register to vote. If you are not registered to vote, please do so. It's not hard. You can do it online. I think you can do it at the DMV. There are many, many, many ways to vote. And then, once you're registered, in November, I hope you actually go vote. Do both.
Yeah. So, Kristy, I didn't even mention that I was running for mayor.
I know.
Yeah. So, because I wanted to respect your platform. I didn't,
I thought I was open it up for it.
Yeah.
I wanted them to see you as a person first, and now you can know that Felicia is running for mayor. That's one
absolutely.
of the, and I'm very excited for her. My first interaction with Felicia was at a city council meeting, and she was speaking on behalf of, and it's. I don't remember the exact issue. They were a business was trying to get a permit downtown to make a move. I'm not going to get into what business it was because we've talked about it ad nauseum on the show. But you said something that stuck with me, and I will never forget it. You said it wasn't that long ago that people who looked like me wouldn't have been able to go into this building, do something like that. And it struck me dumb because not only were you 100% accurate in that assessment, but it was about the heritage. And it made me think of I was there to write the story on it, and I didn't really have an opinion on it until that moment. Until that moment when you brought it all together, like we're not just talking about whether or not these people can come hold a show in a bar. We're talking about something bigger. We're talking about something deeper.
No, really what we were talking about is if they can move into another building.
It was a
That's
permit.
really what we're talking about. Yeah. But, Kristy, one of the things that people have asked is like the why. Mm-hmm. And, initially, I didn't know why. All I knew is that God told me to run. Like that's what I knew. That's what I knew. And but once I filed, it was like that it wasn't about you, but it's about the seat.
Yeah.
And the reason that I'm running for mayor is that there's that reminder that that seat belongs to the people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That seat belongs, to the city. And right now, this is a pivotal time,
yeah.
In our community. When we consider upper management, Tony Sears has left, our middle management, Adam.
Yes.
But the fortunate thing about Adam Short is that he's still in the county. He's still in the county.
He's still here, yeah.
We're in the process of having to select a new, police chief. And so, those are those things that we definitely have to be very strategic because we must get it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so then also, of course, there's issues that we have to talk about, like how do we increase the revenue that comes into, our community?
Right.
Job opportunities, making sure that we build and maintain healthy relationships among each other.
Yes.
But most importantly, we have to unify.
Yes.
And that's definitely, one thing that I know that God has gifted me with, the ability, to bring people together, to work together, and to create things that just simply make it better.
And I've seen you do that in action, whether the rest of the council agreed or disagreed with you. You've taken every opportunity that I've seen to try to be that person, to say, hang on, let's talk about this, let's come together. And it was immediately one of the things that I respected about you from watching the city council meetings. So if you are joining us, this is Kristy Bach with Local Hogwash. I have Felicia Solomon as a guest today. I purposefully didn't introduce you as Mayor Pro Tem.
But that's so good.
Because I wanted people to know you.
But that's so good. And I would tell anyone this, you respect titles, you respect offices, but the greatest title that anyone could wear is that of a servant.
Yes.
It's that of a servant. And it is about doing the work. It's about doing the work.
Yes.
It's about the work. And so, like I said, I respect people's titles and I respect their offices.
Absolutely.
But at the beginning, at the ending of the day, it's about the work and it's about making it better.
I couldn't agree more. Mm-hmm. And I think on that note, I'm going to ask you for final comments. Tell the community anything you want.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kristy, like I said, right now is a pivotal time in our city and in our community. And I think that we're at that part where we can actually launch into the great things that await us and that are due us. But we have to make sure that when we go to the polls in November, that we keep in mind that this is a seat that belongs to the people. This is the city seat. And that we have a responsibility to brand our community like you're doing here.
Yes.
To promote the people here, to create opportunities and spaces for us to grow as a community. The role of mayor is it's not a role that's about power, but it's about a bridge maker. Mm-hmm. It's about a unifier. It's about an advocate, being a champion, being a cheerleader, and being focused on this city. And the focus on this city, it also entails making sure that our relationships throughout this county are healthy. Because the reality of it is that our county will be only as strong as what? Our county seat,
because
right?
We are the county seat.
Exactly. And when we consider economic development, consider job opportunities, we cannot do that in isolation without collaborating with the county and the county commissioners and you know what I'm saying? And so it takes all of us. And so I just look forward to rebranding and helping to define and promote like who we are. I really believe that we have an opportunity to continue to brand what it looks like to define community in Eastern North Carolina. We've got a phenomenal delegation. You know, when we look at, Smart Kinston, we look at the revitalization efforts, we look at how, Jan Parson led the team, with our barbecue.
Jan Parson, guys.
With the barbecue festival. There are just some amazing things in this city. But who makes it amazing? The people.
Right.
It's the people.
All of those places that she said are absolutely the core of what makes Kinston the quirky little town that could, as I call it. I absolutely think that all of the programs and the things that you can do here are what make it special. And if you are not from Kinston, come visit us. It's worth it. You will have the time of your life. My parents just drove through here recently, and in a funny little thing, they were talking about the colorful houses with the white picket fences, and I said, oh, I live there. So come on down. We're at the Lenore County Farmers Market. Take advantage of what we have to offer. This has been Kristy Bach with Local Hogwash and Felicia Solomon, who hopes to see you in November. Go get registered to vote and then go vote.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.